Getting ready to send this out because this is Friday night, baby. It's storming here in Georgia. That just means that it's about to be blessings on blessings on blessings, overflow with overflow of what God is doing in our lives, right? So I need you to make sure you get somebody, tag them to have them come in on this broadcast because what we've been doing for the last 5 weeks is celebrating, highlighting, spotlighting, interviewing, congratulating, and celebrating the co authors of the anthology Her, Unshakable, Unbreakable, and Unstoppable. And you already know we are ending up the last one in the series. We are ending it up tonight. So I hope you have taken the time to go back and look at some of the videos. And if you haven't, guess what? It's okay. The replays are still on my page. Go back, look at those, and make sure you get tapped in, tuned in, and you know that it's just great information. It is inspiring, encouraging, motivating. These ladies are leveling up when it comes to being her. And I'm telling you, her got swag. Her has confidence. Her is up in the building. So let me go ahead and introduce you to the next one. But give me 1 second because I want to share this out to one more place because I need people, when they say bring them out, bring them out. I should have had that on replay, right? So when I got ready to bring on out, you'd be like, yes, but that's okay because I'm going to do it anyway. Bring her out, bring her out, bring out her, none other than, yes, Sherold
Come on.
Haynes. Hey, Sherold, how are you?
I am doing fabulous. I'm just full and happy.
Full and happy, and I
Yes.
loved it. And as soon as it started storming here, I was like, baby, oh, y'all must get ready. We must be getting ready to bring the fire, the lightning, the thunderstorms, the heat, all of it, because we're wrapping up the series. But that doesn't mean that it's over because we are just getting started, right?
Right. That's right.
Yes. So, Sherold, tell me, because we're talking about, of course, the anthology Her, Unshakable, Unbreakable, and Unstoppable. When you heard the title, what did you think?
Man, my thoughts went several places. Just really, you know, in my particular case, things that could have just stopped me from the very beginning. There
Mm-hmm.
was nothing, there would have never been no her, just unstoppable, unbreakable, unshakable. Each one of those things were targeted specifically at me at a very young age. And it was just like, whoa, this needs to be said, heard, seen, distributed, however, because that's exactly what has happened. And not just to me, but to several people, several women, several men, several young
Mm-hmm.
boys, young girls. And it was just like it spoke to my spirit, and it legitimately was like, what a blessing to be asked to, participate. And
Yeah.
it goes beyond that. And God didn't want me to miss it. He didn't want me to miss this because of what I was participating with, trying to uplift other people. And I was like, not focusing on my own journey of her.
Right.
And he just wanted to make sure that while I was doing that, I didn't miss my own journey and blessing. And I know you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about because I was like so when I met you, I explained the friendships I was praying and asking God for.
Right.
And I
Right.
always get so emotional when I just revisit that in my mind. So that was like, this is it. That was her just waiting on
This
me.
is it. Yes. And you know what? It is
Yes.
so amazing because you're right. When we first got introduced to each other, you were talking about, what you were looking for in life. And, you wanted some good girlfriends, some sisters. And now you're 25 strong. And when I tell you, it has
Yes.
been such a good experience in
Oh,
this particular anthology, with this group of women. Everybody is encouraging. We're praying for one another. We're celebrating our wins. We're being there, if somebody is in their lesson season, because
Yeah.
we don't take losses over here. It's just a
No.
lesson season. And
No.
so when you talk about the fact that God was not going to let you miss out on anything, I love that, because what's for you is for you. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can shake it. Nobody can break it. Because if God said it's for you, then it's for you. And who going to check God? Nobody.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nobody.
And there's no
So
stopping it.
there's no stopping it. And I love that you know that deep down that God loves you like that.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Um, as we go further into this, I know you're gonna go where I know you're gonna go. And prayer, I required prayer to even begin that journey with the anthology, because I knew it was gonna peel back some parts that had been healed, but
Yeah,
once you start peeling down, it was going to have to be exposed again to get it out, to let people
yeah,
see this and be healed from what they may have gone through that was similar to my story. And
absolutely.
it was going to have to get re-exposed for a moment. But yet, because of the power of prayer, I knew that once this was done, that he was going to say, okay, let me put this back together now, because we only needed it exposed for just a minute. We can't let no bacteria get in there and start making it reinfected and everything like that.
Thanks.
So let's go ahead and heal that back up. Okay, daughter, you're good. Now we can, that's going to help other people.
Yes, and I love how you put that, because the reality is a lot of times. Good evening, Cynthia. Good to see you. What really happens when you are trying to heal for real, you have got to reveal the thing that you need to heal from. Because as long as you're keeping a secret, as long as you are playing with yourself, as long as you are acting like you got your head buried in the sand and you don't want to acknowledge it and understand that I need to bring this out.
Yes.
And me being embarrassed, me being angry, me being any kind of feelings, fearful, any kind of feelings that you can feel behind revealing your hurt and your truth and
Mhm.
what you have been dealing with, is small in comparison to what you're going to get once you reveal it and God heals you for real. That's top tier. That's next level. And I hope people start understanding that there's nothing wrong with, because everything you've been through has made you who you are.
Yep. It really has. And I'm gonna probably upset a few people when I say this, but I have to do what I do. And my friends, people who know me, they're like, they wouldn't expect it. They wouldn't expect anything else, because um that's just who I am. I'm gonna say it, and
Mhm.
I don't like to have that question, what would you tell your younger self?
Yeah.
Because in my case, my younger self was going through hell. And so
Mhm.
if I changed my younger self, I wouldn't be who I am right now. So I
Right.
can't say I would go back and tell my younger self this or that. No, I would thank God for him holding me and surrounding me and letting me know I'm here. You don't know me in the fullness yet because of your background, but I'm here. So I wouldn't have anything really to tell my younger self. Now,
Mhm.
finances and things, opportunities that
Right.
came my way, like annuities and things like that. That
Yes.
yeah, I wish I would have my younger self when I was given what Redbox, Netflix, all that stuff when it was
Yeah.
little. Yeah, my younger self would have been like, put my money on that. But when it comes to my emotional, my spiritual, my mental, you know, healing and process, I can't say that I would have. There wouldn't have been nothing to tell my younger self, because it was horrible. So I just put it that way, and
Right.
not I could not tell her anything. I had to my daddy, my father, God was all there, so I couldn't say nothing.
I know Cynthia said, yes, I had to acknowledge it and feel it feels so much better now that I've gotten it out. But I want to
Mhm.
go to your chapter. And first, let's start off by saying, abandoned but not alone, adopted by God. That's your title. So I'm going to read a little bit out of it. You said, I always felt his presence. I always sensed this warmth, this love that I could not explain back then, but I just knew it. I just felt it. You see, at 13 years old, I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. At my birth, the devil feared me, but now he trembles. I didn't know everything I needed to know, but from what I read, I knew that no matter what I did, no matter what happened to me, he would never leave me alone. And he would show me a love beyond anything that I had ever known, even to this day.
Mm.
And then that right there is powerful, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna step into the next one, baby. You said, you see, I have stepped into and immersed myself in daughterhood. At my age, it may sound strange to some, but I call God my Lord, my Father, my Daddy. As I surrender to Him, He is obligated to look after me. And I, as His child, happily and joyfully serve Him, love Him, and show Him I can be an obedient child who deserves all of His goodness and His gifts. His protection, love, and direction through His Word are freely available to me as I continue to draw closer as His daughter and become the best me to serve His people here on earth. Wow.
Wow. You just
Hey, what you say? And you
look.
did that.
Yeah.
Yes, you did that.
Wow.
Let's talk about being a daughter, daughterhood. Because I don't think, of course, we both are friends with Reverend Pat. And how she was talking about, in I do the editor in chief of Melanin and Marriage magazine.
Yes.
One
Yes.
of the articles that she wrote talked about calling women calling themselves queens, right? But she says, really and truly, queen is cute, but daughter holds so much more significance, right?
Yes.
Shout out
Yes.
to Reverend Pat. Pat
Woo!
Flowers, honey. Follow her on on social media platforms. But let's talk about being the daughter. When you know that you are a daughter of the Most High, how did that shift you?
It shifted me in two different ways. Because you got the spoiled brats who can be daughters and spoiled. And I myself, for a long time, was like the only girl in the family. Like, and
Mhm.
everybody always had that idea, oh, she's spoiled rotten. But my brothers would say she was bossy, spoiled, but she was also a good spoiled, which I didn't understand until much older. So
Mhm.
I understood, like I said, as I got older. But daughterhood for me meant concerning him that I had a special place. I had
Yeah.
a special place. I had a special way that I was supposed to carry myself. And having a father who was responsible for me meant there was things I didn't have to worry about. Okay. As long as I walked like my father told me to walk,
Mhm.
he sent some women around me to teach me
Yeah.
and prepare me, but they couldn't be me. They weren't going to encounter the things I was going to encounter.
Right.
So he had to equip me differently for the things that I would encounter. So during that time, he understood that, okay, she's going to come through some things. I'm going to have to equip her and make her understand. Just lean into me. When you go through those things, as my daughter, I'm here. I'm your father. You're not going to be able to handle those things like you think you might because you were a tomboy. You were this, you were that. Things are going to be worse than that kind of persona because it's not going to be about your external strength. It's going
Mhm.
to be about other types of strength. And that's hard to hear, weird to hear when you're like 14, 13, 17, and you're like, what am I
Absolutely.
what am
Absolutely.
I
Like
hearing?
what?
Exactly. Exactly. When you're like, what does that mean? Yeah, horrible things happened way down the line, but of course, he is so sweet and loving that some of those things he made sure that I couldn't hold on. I remember how it started, but he didn't let me draw it out. So
Yeah.
being his daughter, he took very good care to handle me a certain way. He can't handle you like he handles me. He can't handle
Absolutely.
Miss Cynthia like he handles you. Can't
Right.
handle Reverend Pat like he handles Miss Cynthia. Because we
Exactly.
all are daughters in a different way. We all have different attitudes. We all have different
Mhm.
personalities. And
Mhm.
This daughter here has a lot of I'll say spunk. I just discovered that people have been trying to train me lately and telling me to, but they want to use it for their own good when it comes up.
Absolutely.
But you know what? He's not going to allow that either.
He's not. And I love the confidence that you have in knowing that he's always going to look out for me. He's always going to make sure I'm good. And the reality is, when people hear that, they're just like, well, with all you've been through, really? But they don't understand. So you got to have a deeper understanding than the surface of what you see.
That's right.
Because the things that have happened to you could have taken you out
At that very moment.
at that very moment that you wouldn't be here. And your story is so, I mean, even when you're starting out this chapter, like you're giving people the backstory, because I know you're going to have a whole nother book that's going to give them a lot more details about, your life and other things you went through. But even from the beginning, the devil was trying to take you out. The devil was trying to make sure that you wouldn't come through because he knew the force that you would be.
And that's that. Even I sit here and I'm listening to you, and I'm almost like a whole chill bump or goose pimple, however they talk about it, because it's like when I know that the day before my actual birthday could have been never have come.
Right.
What the person was doing before I came forth.
Right.
I hear things that happen out today, and she may have been doing this or that, and the child was not born or what have you. I'm just in awe. And then for me to come forth, and then to have being able to be 1 year old, 2 years old, 5, 6, 7, and today to still get looked at like, it's almost sometimes upsetting, because they'll examine me like kind of weird, and I'm like, wait a minute, just you can look at me from over there and see the glory of God and see what he's done. And who are saved, they're okay with it, but the ones who have the scientific mind, they have to touch and see. And
Yeah.
like Thomas, but
Right. Because it doesn't make sense. And this is the reality for a lot of people. When you believe and trust in God, what is it? We walk by faith and not by sight. So
right.
what you see isn't exactly what you have faith in. You have faith in what's not seen. You have faith in what hasn't came to pass yet. You have faith in the fact that what God has done for you. He said in Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you. So because of that, a hope and a future, and plans not to harm me, then anything that happens to you, it all works together for your good. And if you can understand that and believe in and trust in it, then when you have health challenges, God working it out for my good.
Exactly.
When you go through financial things, okay, God, you working it out for my good. Whatever it is. And I'm not saying it's easy, because as human beings, we're looking at trying to walk this spiritual life in a human body and having things happen, and sometimes thinking like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why me? Or how did it happen? And for you to have heard the stories about growing up, how you came into this world, and when you started the chapter, like I said, the title being abandoned but not alone. That right there is an oxymoron, because you think if somebody abandons you, then aren't you alone? But you found out otherwise.
Exactly. And it's almost like he wanted to give me examples. Okay, that one's gone, I'm still here. Okay, that one's gone, I'm still here. And it was like everything that way, or this is gone, that is gone, this is left, I'm still here. And it just taught me over and over and over, I am not alone though. I may be singular, but I'm not alone. And I always have this growing up with boys gives, if you're like only girl or whatever, you grow up with a different like attitude to me, or I did. So that's what I'm saying, since we all started this, I may be a little radical saying, yeah, I got a gang of angels with me, and
Right.
things like that, because the people that I appeal to are much younger than me, because of, I think, the childhood I had to kind of like become a child again in my 20s, because that was so traumatic that I stayed. When I get to my 20s, I'm like, I'm still a kid, because I'm starting to relive. So
Right.
when I do like that, when it's like, the people that I'm appealing to, they understand there's a strength that comes in youth, and they need to understand that do all, you can be you. You can be you, and you can be how you are. And just come on in as you are, and don't look for people to be there always. But I need you to understand, the person who made you, the person who will be there, is okay with you being how you are, no matter who walks away.
Exactly. And you know what? I want to press upon people, because when we talk about becoming her, it's a process and it's a transition into becoming her. And when you understand that there's nobody, I don't care if y'all, they say, oh, everybody has a look-alike somewhere, identical twins, triplets, quadruplets, whatever it is, they are all still different. I don't care if every last one of them looks the same. There's still something. Maybe the eye color is different, because number one, you already know the fingerprints are different. But
Yeah.
it's always still something distinguishing. Somebody may have a mole. Somebody may have different color eyes. Somebody may, the hair texture is different.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, there's nobody like you. So
Right.
you can let people say, "Oh, I can counsel you and find another one." No, you'll never find another like me. I
Okay.
don't care. I don't care where you go, where you look, there's never going to be anybody else like me.
Exactly. And like,
Period.
exactly. We used to have a thing, and I know everybody has heard this probably. Oh, God broke the mold when He made you, and you should walk in that confidence that, yeah, there is only one of me. You know, that's true.
Only one. And it's not cockiness or arrogance, it's factual. And the
Confidence.
thing about it is, when you become a daughter, you understand that, like you said, God is going to handle all of us differently, because we're all different.
Yes.
All of your experiences make you somebody unique to God.
Exactly.
And how we, even if we all go to the same burger joint, all of us are not going to want the same type of burger. Somebody may want their bread toasted. Somebody wants cheese. Somebody don't. Somebody needs pickles and mayonnaise and mustard. Somebody else said, give me ketchup. Somebody else said, y'all got some barbecue sauce. Somebody else saying, wait a minute, make mine medium rare. Somebody else said, give me mine
Exactly.
well done. Somebody said, baby, put me some fresh onions. Somebody else said, no, baby, I need you to caramelize mine. Everybody's going to be different. And
Exactly.
so we have to embrace that. And I think society has made us feel like we all fit into a little cookie cutter mold. You know how they had like
Yeah.
one size fits all, baby? One size, I don't care if everybody can put it on, it's never fitting the same,
Come
because
on.
our shapes are different. Our personalities and style are different. Somebody else may take theirs and put it in a knot and have it high on one side,
Okay.
in the dress. Somebody else may say, let me go give me a pair of scissors, baby. I'm going to cut this thing down and put some stuff in it to make mine look different from yours.
Yes.
We are unique, and God embraces that, and He loves that, because He created us like that.
I had there was Reverend Patty, and she has her site is a new sisterhood anew or something like that.
Mhm.
And there was a conversation Thursday, and it was like, what the conversation was, what do you have to let go? And that was one of the topics. And for me, I said I had to let go of words that I heard from people about me,
Mhm. Yeah.
because um, later on realizing that those words stunted my growth with God, because although He was always there, you know, you get around people who will dispraise what He said, what He has done. Oh,
Mhm.
you're not really this or that. Oh, you're not this or that. And when you're coming up in 12, 13, 14, 15, words are so important. Words are so important.
Yeah. Yes.
6, things that we hear when we're that young can destroy us through our 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I really was like, you know what? I realized I had to get rid of those words, those wagging tongues, those judgmental looks, and all of that. And because it was really, really very important to me knowing my relationship with God, because it's like, why would I care what they think? That's in the Word of God. Why do I care what they? Do I really care about their opinion, or do I want my Father proud of me? Do I want Him to know that I'm praising and worshiping until I just pass out from smoke, start slipping, or do I want to make sure that I look good after service? No. I
Mm-hmm.
want I gave it all because of what He's done, and I'm carrying the residue home, and I'm going to finish it up at the house. And
Baby, keep that residue on you and keep the
right,
praise continuously
that's
in
right.
your mouth.
No matter what anyone has said to me or how they're looking, because I'm not paying attention to the faces. And that's
Right.
the thing, us being all different, especially when you're young, we have to really uplift even our 20 somethings who have come
Yeah.
through those times. Because I grew up Catholic, and that's why 13 years old. And in the part I think I mentioned, me going to my own little church and getting
Right.
baptized and saved at that church, or that church, it was a house, was because I could have easily just not, and just did what I wanted to do. But I knew he was speaking to me. And so I was obedient to my parents, went to Catholic, went to mass and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
at least it didn't keep me from going on to my church after church,
Right.
and
Exactly.
that's where that molded me who I am today. And so therefore, for me, when I don't look at Catholic, Pentecostal, Methodist, I don't look at none of that, because
Yeah.
sure, coming from my background, I'm like, I'll tear the floor up with praise and worship, knowing that, because I don't have not seen that before, and
Mm-hmm.
now I've learned,
Mm-hmm.
there's no holding me back, because I'm going to give it all to him, because I wouldn't be here. And that's how important it is to me.
Absolutely. And the thing about what you're saying is, regardless of what religious preference you have, it's the personal relationship
That's
that
what it's about.
changes you. You
Hmm.
have to have something outside of the four walls of the church,
That's what it
because
is.
God resides inside of you. So in actuality, you are the church. Everywhere you
Yeah,
go, you bring the church with you. You bring the love
agree.
of
Yep.
God. People should see God in you because of how you act, how you talk, how you walk, how you move, how you think, how you show up. All those things are evidence of God in you. And the more that you have a personal relationship with Him, the stronger that becomes. So that when life hits you, and as they say, now life be lifing, you already know. So I
Yeah.
don't know how much, I didn't want to get into too much of your personal things, but for you, it wasn't one thing that hit you, it's
Yeah.
multiple things that hit you.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you find the strength to say, you know what, God, I still trust you?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna have some aha moment. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you how I found the strength. I can't. I know I'm probably surprising you, but I love the look on your face, because you're like, a lot of people just make up something. I'm sorry, I'm just who I am. A lot of people make up something.
Right.
I can't tell you how I found the strength, because I'm still here daily asking him to just make sure I can still make it to the next day. You know, there's a lot that has happened to me, and I am like, God, you know what tomorrow's gonna bring within the last 2 years. And I would like to say this if I can, because I've been really like working really hard to keep my words straight. The last two
Right.
years, I suffered a concussion on my job, and I'm working to speak correctly and not stutter right now. You remember when my
Mm-hmm.
met you, and so knowing that he's allowing me to speak eloquently, you know what I'm saying, so I don't stutter, I'm really all of that right now because um, it's him. And so I'm not going to come up with no lie. I'm not going to come with no eloquent answer. I can't do that. That's
Right.
just not who I am, and I'll never be
Right.
that person. And in my as my youngsters used to say, that I used to always talk to with anywhere. He said, "You a real G. You ain't making up nothing." I said, "No, because I'm telling you what I saw. I'm telling you who I am, and I can't
Yeah.
make a lie and tell you I had the strength on this day. No,
Right,
I'm sorry.
right. What you say, baby? Listen, it was but God. Like, because sometimes you know what, things happen and we don't understand, but with what you've been through, look at where you are now.
Exactly, and it's daily. It's a daily thing.
It's a daily thing, exactly. But I love your spirit. I love how you're just like, bring it on, and God, I'm gonna give you the glory, and that's just it. And because that is who you are,
Yeah,
other people see that and they're like, wow, okay. But sometimes they're waiting to see how long is they gonna last.
catch me tomorrow. I probably won't be like this. That's how real I am about it. It's a daily thing for real. And
Mhm.
I mean, I just I just put on a t-shirt. So because today I felt like I didn't want to get dressed. Um,
Mhm.
and especially since this concussion, it's just like I don't even want to talk to nobody, you know. So I'm telling you, it's a daily thing. Even before this, my daughter joked
Mhm.
that I don't like people, and I'm like, what? She says, "Mom, I observe you." She said, "You love assisting and helping people." She said, "But you like to be like to yourself." And I'm like, really? She's like, "Yeah, it's not a bad thing, but I didn't know that because being a nurse." I'm like, she said, "No, but that's your calling. That's what you're doing. You like
Yeah.
to love people. You got to make them feel a certain way." She said, "But when that's over, you want to just be on that couch in that corner, relaxed and quiet."
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
respected that. And that made me say, like, wow, that's my baby. She noticed that about me. And
Right.
you know, so
Yeah.
that's something.
And to know that it's okay. I forgot, but in the process of all these conversations, we've had people say, I mean, maybe Tamisha was one of them, but we were talking about, but it's okay, because sometimes we feel like we have to be all up in people's face, and we got to always do this, and you got to be our
Yeah.
own all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
when you do that, you're not being true to yourself, because there are times where you just really want to be like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to do me for a minute. And
That's
that's
right.
part of self care. That's
Mm-hmm.
part of knowing who you are and knowing what you need, so that when you are operating in your gift, when you are utilizing the talents God gave you, you can
Exactly.
do it to the fullest. You can be 100% wide open with it, because
Exactly.
you've taken the time to make sure you're good first.
That's so big. Um, I want to like I don't like to say shout out, but the last few years, a couple of friends of mine have like really been like, we want you to. I used to during my lunch break, 5 or 10 minutes, I would sit there and I would talk to whoever's listening to alive at that time about the African American community finally accepting that we are suffering from mental health issues. Let's get some help. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
we're starting to finally hear, and we're starting to do it. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
all these women are coming in, and we're coming big time with big guns and big strength, these degrees, psychologists, psychiatrists. We're doing it because our community needs it. And I'm
Yes.
so happy about that because, like you said, we use those days when you want to just get over there and be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's a bad day. Some
Right.
people, and when their family can recognize a bad day from suicidal ideations,
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
a difference. So it's good that it's okay to be you. Come on, let everybody know when it's a good day or it's a not so
Mm-hmm. And because there's no shame in that. You know what? We
yeah.
have the shame is when you hide all of it, and then you choose to take your life because you felt like, I can't tell anybody that I'm struggling. I can't tell anybody that I have things in my head that I can't figure out. I can't tell anybody that, you know what, I'm going through something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why, and then it makes you sad to think that, man, if they just had said something,
Yep.
somebody could have shown up and helped or done something. But a lot of times, we internalize so much and we feel like we have to, because people always feel like, oh, she's strong. We think strong is like we've arrived. But really and
Yeah.
truly, we haven't arrived, just because you are strong in front of people, but behind closed doors, it's
It
something totally
is.
different.
It is. And for me, and I from my chapter, you see this. You see this person,
Mm-hmm.
but that the things that happened were in a certain era, in a certain time, a certain year, a decade when we surely weren't, getting paying attention like we should have been to
Right.
health issues and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is those skeletons and that stuff of that decade followed me into my 40s, and
Mm.
that's when the breakdown happened. And then
Yeah.
okay, so all that happened, but God was there again to say, okay, you know what? I work through, let's hear it. I work through psychiatrists. I work through psychologists. I work through therapists. Now, these days, he's working through life coaches. He's working through, I have a degree in Christian counseling. Okay, so we are here, and we are 26 women who got, thank God, this publisher has had a vision and said, I want this. And this is something, this is a movement for us to take ownership of everything that we've gone through. We're going to help people. This here, this her becoming her,
Yes,
that's
yes.
that built up and saying, wow, I read that first chapter of whoever started, and then I read that 15th chapter. Between first and 15th, I felt something change in me.
Mm-hmm.
I am truly
Mm-hmm.
building because I know every single one of these women, when we started, we went through some battles from
Yes.
day
I
one.
mean, Nicole even said, even in the process after saying yes, still hit with stuff.
Battles. It was not just war. It was battle, 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 and then the war. And I just sat back, prayed and watched, prayed and watched. Even this week, I had to go Georgia, Savannah, back and forth. Even the week of the gala, I was in Savannah, Georgia, and I was just like sulking. But I had hospital members, my dad in the hospital, all this, and I knew. I said, you know what, this anthology is going to change lives.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
I am
That's
so
why I love that they say it's a movement, because it's not just what I will say, and I'm grateful to God that we're not just allowing it to just be a book and then, okay, we hit it, we wrote it, we done, and that's it. No, it's a movement. We are going to reach out to people and constantly talk about becoming her,
yeah.
constantly talk about healing for real. So I'm gonna go
Mhm.
to another piece that you wrote in your book, in your chapter. And let me grab this question. Let me see. I'm sorry. Cynthia said, yes, yes. We're not staying still. We're not keeping our mouths closed. We are continuing to push it out there because people need it. And
Exactly.
sometimes you don't know what you need until you know what you need. And
Exactly.
sometimes it has to be in your face for you to say, you know what? I didn't even know I needed to go back and get the little girl inside of me. I didn't know that I needed to forgive somebody that I never thought I could allow myself to forgive. I
Yep.
never thought that I would be in this place in my life, but now
Yep.
I got to give myself grace to know
Hey,
that if God got me here, He can take me on through to the other side.
that's right.
What you said is that is the excitement we can have when we immerse ourselves and envelop ourselves in the attitude and embodiment of a daughter whose father only wants the best for us. The only way to receive all that is good for us and everything that he has promised is to obey him, live for him, keep your eyes on him, keep his commandments, communicate with him, walk with him, talk with him, and show and help others to attain the love, joy, and happiness that he has placed in you. Then you said, as his daughter. Now I need everybody to get this in your spirit, baby. As his daughter, there is no lack of joy, of love, of joy, of
Woo!
peace, and there is no lack of provisions. The material things are the least of the gifts that he will bestow upon his daughters, just because we are his beloved daughters and we are not ever alone.
Amen. Woo. I'll
Girl,
be back in a minute. No. Yeah.
the Holy Spirit was up on you writing those things because we have to as women. And I know that we're talking about becoming her. And I also want to put a disclaimer out here for the men. Don't mistakes that we're saying becoming her, that it doesn't include you, because the same thing that we as women need to step up and be accountable and give ourselves grace and offer forgiveness and heal for real.
Mm-hmm.
Become him. Become that guy too. Become the one that says, you know what, I could change for my future, for my family, for the people God has put me in their path. Because it's somebody who looks at you and you can make a difference in how you show up. It's a daughter depending on you. It's a son depending on you. It's a mother or a father depending on you to step up and be the one that's going to make everybody say, you know what? You inspire me to be better.
It's really, and I know, and I'm so inspired by every every woman involved in this, because I I know that they all had to surrender and say, yes, I'll do this.
Yeah,
It could,
yeah,
oh, let me check my calendar. It was just, I'm pretty sure, an immediate yes. And when we said that, it showed God that we're willing vessels. Here we are. You could have said,
yeah.
I didn't, because I'm in the middle of this or that, I can't do that. Or
Mhm.
you consciously say, no, no, oh, I don't have time. We said yes, and He heard our yes, and He put us right in the place we needed to be,
Yeah.
being used for His purpose. And even now, moving forward, every day we have an opportunity to be still yet used because of this right here. Because it's like it opens so many doors, so many doors. And it's just the beginning. And
Mhm.
it's just really something that I can't to the fullness explain, or the feeling of, or just everybody who's participated, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
You may wonder why I'm going over here today. Why am I doing that today? Why did I go back there today? And it's only like when you get there, it's like, oh, this is why, you know. And it's the same thing with this movement, with the anthology. That's why I did it. That's why I had to do it.
Exactly, exactly.
It's
And I've seen so much even, and that's one of the reasons, to have this series of interviews in addition to reading the chapters, because you can do one or the other and get a piece. But
yeah,
when you combine, let me listen to what they're talking about and let me read that chapter. And
yep,
now it's like it comes together and it's like, whoa, wow, okay.
yeah,
Because you can see the transformation, you can see the growth, you can see the change in mindset of saying that,
yes,
oh, I'm her. And what you used to could tell me, you can't tell me that anymore because
that's
I know
right.
who I am. I know whose I am. So before you may have told me I was not going to be anything or nobody's going to want me or, whatever. Now I'm telling you, oh, but because he loves me, that's all I need.
Yep. And because He loves me, be careful how you step to me.
Thank you.
These
Thank
whole
you.
preparation and provisions, given. My father wants a dowry before you step this way. he wants a dowry. Okay. And I know y'all know back in the 1800s, you had to bring money to
You
even
have to
to the
bring something
father.
to the
You had to bring an
table.
offering to the
Yes.
father to
Yes.
accept
Yes.
his daughter. So where is it at? So yeah, he it was real. That's how it was. And
That's how it was.
how it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, you're important to him. You're his daughter. Even if
Yes.
you're married, I'm sorry, you're his daughter. You're his daughter.
Still.
You were his
Still.
daughter.
And it should be once you get there, even when you hear it, something in your spirit should be like, in the Bible when they talked about Mary and Elizabeth, right? And when Elizabeth, who was pregnant with, I mean, when Mary was pregnant with Jesus, went on her cousin Elizabeth, who was pregnant also,
Yes.
and the baby leaped in her
Yeah.
stomach. She like felt like, oh, it was like it recognized something. When you hear somebody say you are a daughter of the Most High, something in your spirit should leap and say, finally,
Hmm.
I
And when
know
you
who I
see
am.
that, yes, and when you see a sister that's downtrodden, and it ain't like you gotta go there and read 10 lines in a poem or however the pastors used to say it. You walk up to her and it's like, oh, baby, what you doing? You're a daughter of a king. Lift your head. Even and I have a sense of humor, so I'm always saying crazy stuff.
Right?
It just comes naturally. So, so when I do see young ladies, just anywhere, I'll encourage them to like, and they may be talking about something crazy. I'm like, yeah, get that one because that one right there, your daddy wants you to have that one, and it's like we
Mhm.
have a purse or something there and looking at or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you want
Mhm.
that? Your dad wants you to have that, and that starts a conversation. Goodwill. Me and a friend of mine, we go to Goodwill, and we're in there for nothing. We don't want nothing. Really, there's nothing to want, and there's a reason we're there. And before we leave, somebody is God has a new daughter. She didn't know she was a daughter because she's 72 years old, 65 years old, never been told she's a daughter of God.
Mm.
Whole full
Wow. Wow.
yes.
That is that. But that's really what it's all about. This movement is being able to look at your sister and say, we're daughters. We don't have to do that. You don't
That's
have to act
right.
like that. You don't have to talk like that. You don't have to beg, borrow, or steal. You don't have to do any of those things because you're a daughter. And once you get it, how Sparkle's always saying, I'm God's favorite daughter, right? And we talked last week and she was like, when somebody else gets it though, see, you can let her say she's God's favorite daughter, but you also need to know that so are you.
Yep. He
And
has
when
a
you
lot of faith.
understand, she may be the one talking about it, but in my spirit, I
Yes.
know that I'm his favorite daughter too.
Yes.
When you get it, it's a whole shift in what you'll tolerate. It's a whole change in what you will, like Crystal said, hey Crystal, yes, divine appointment it was.
Yes, it was.
Divine appointment it was. But
Yes.
we gotta share that knowledge with other people, other women, so that they can understand too. Like, you don't have to feel like you're not worthy. You don't have to feel low self-esteem and a lack of self-love. No, love yourself, baby. Pick your head up, straighten
Yes.
your crown, and know that you are a daughter and you deserve any good thing that's coming your way.
Yes.
Every good thing that's
Everything.
coming your way.
Yeah. I mean, I can't voice it enough. I'm just so it is like something clicked in me when when he adopted me, and I mean when I went through all of that and then felt and understood, even so much of the to the point like don't you don't want to mess with me. You do not. Please don't.
Look, please
Please
don't.
don't. And I literally
This
would
is
tell
not what you want. Please don't.
my mother,
I can't express it and stress it enough. Please
please don't.
don't.
And I'd be meaning it too. Like I already snap off and pop off to what people tell me. I'm working on that. So when I say what he's got is so much worse than anything I could do.
Oh,
So please
isn't
don't.
it? What you say? Listen, you really want me to get you because if he get you,
Yeah.
that's not what you want.
and you're gonna remember what you did, and then you're gonna be like,
Yes,
right,
yes.
she's right. I shouldn't have did it. Yeah, because I'm gonna warn you, I'm
Look,
gonna give you a chance. And that's for
yes.
real, sis. That is for real. That is for real stuff. Because my friend, she tells me all the time, sure, you got too much to lose. Yep,
Uh-huh.
it's true. So remember that, ladies. We got too much to lose.
You
Let
have too much
daddy
to
handle
do. Let God get it. Look, what you
it.
say, look, tag God, you, there you go.
Yep.
There
Yep.
you go.
That's it.
I want to read your bio because it was very revealing. Crystal said the spiritual debt would be too high of a cost to pay. That part, that
That part.
that part right
Yes.
there, for real.
Yep.
That part. So your bio, Sherold K. Haynes was born in Jacksonville, Florida. Her father's military service and her personal love of traveling allowed her to see many states and countries. Currently, she resides in Richmond, Texas. Sherold is the mother of two daughters, Sydney and Sierra, and one son, Jordan. She is also a bonus mother to several others. Sherold has particularly drawn to younger people because of her challenging personal history, which she uses, along with her faith in God, to encourage them to pursue their dreams no matter how impossible things may seem. She triumphed over many obstacles in her life. One major obstacle was defeating breast cancer while attending nursing school. Sherold has been in the medical field for over 30 years. She is a registered nurse and holds a bachelor's degree in Christian counseling. Sherold's future plans include pursuing licensing and certification as a life coach because of her love of people and the desire for them to see how amazing they truly are. I want to give you the spotlight. I'm going to give you some time to say what you want to say as a result of the passion and the purpose that God has instilled in you. Whatever you want to say, this is your spotlight moment.
I watched, I'm gonna say I think I watched only 20 of the interviews. I think I only missed 4. So I gotta go back because a lot was happening. But what I would like to say is don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up so bad about things that happened in your past. Your past is just that. You are a child of God. If you accepted Jesus Christ as your Savior, your Lord and your Savior, your past is just that. It's your past. There's nothing you can do to change that. Whatever happened was not your fault. There's nothing you can do to change that. There's no reason to carry it anymore. I need you to look in the mirror after this, or whatever you're doing, and tell yourself, hey, I'm a daughter of a king. And as the daughter of a king, I am blessed. That is all. I'm done. Nothing too deep.
Nothing too deep.
Nothing
You
too
just need to look yourself in the mirror and understand who you are
deep.
and whose you are.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This is the wrapping up with the end of the series, but that doesn't mean that if you haven't got the book, get the book. If you haven't looked at the videos, look at the videos. Get inspired. Make yourself, if you don't do anything else, commit to yourself that you are going to become the best version of you. And it doesn't matter what you've been through or what you're currently going through. You
Amen.
always can become her. You
Yep.
always can become a better version. And y'all know I'm always throwing out my poem by Marianne. Marianne, you need to holler at me, girl, because you know that's my poem, our deepest fear. And it's not that we're inadequate, it's that we're powerful beyond measure. When you know that you're a daughter, that power, baby, sits down on you. It
You
just
walk different. You walk different.
you walk different because
Yes,
you
you
know that you're powerful.
do. Mm-hmm.
You gotta know that as a daughter. You just think when you have biological kids, they know that, oh, I got the power to go to my mom and ask her for what I want. You may not, because you're not a daughter. And so she can say yes or no, or she maybe whatever, maybe she'll think about it, maybe, maybe she won't care. But my mama is gonna make sure, just like my daddy's gonna make sure that I'm good, and
Yep.
that the favor is on me, and that I'm blessed because I'm his, because I'm hers. So understand that you're a daughter of the Most High. Cynthia said, baby, and we talk different.
Yes, we do.
Yes. The posture is different. You know what I'm saying? When you know that you're a daughter of the Most High, you sit up, your whole way of being is different.
You walk into places different. You look
You
different. That's
do.
what
You
I'm
do.
serious. You look different.
Let me tell you, it's funny you said that, because Miss Doris was saying when she came back from the Becoming Her experience, they said, something about you is different. She said, because I'm her.
That's right, Miss Doris.
I'm her.
Yes.
That right there makes the difference.
Woo.
So listen, I'm excited because again, we're just getting started. Y'all, I don't
Yes.
want y'all to think like this is the end of this series, but it's so much more in store. July the 11th, we'll be in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for stop 2 on the tour. In October, we'll be in Tampa, Florida. Looking to go to Richmond, Virginia. Shouting out to my girls in Memphis, Tennessee, so we can get down there. We've got places to be, honey. And listen, if we need to go big or go home and go to Texas, where
I'm
my
looking
girl
into
is
it.
at.
Don't worry. I'm looking into it right now. I was doing it yesterday.
Wow,
All
yes,
right.
look at that. Cynthia said, my daughter has noticed it. Baby, I'm telling you,
Woo!
whenever this on you, it's something about, you know how they say you get the inner glow. You got that my glow is God. You know how they say my black is beautiful, my glow is God. That's it. That's it. That's all, because I'm a daughter. Now that
Hey,
I know, you can't shake me, you can't break me, and you cannot stop me. Right?
nope.
Point blank, period. Let me hear this. Let's play this song on the way out.
Come on. Yeah.
Yes. Become her. She said, need prayer, tap my shoulder. Yes.
Damn. I love to pray. I love talking to my dad.
Listen, and I tell y'all, her heart is so big and so genuine and so good, and she wants to see everybody win. And that's when, when you think about your circle, that's the kind of people you want in your circle, right?
Right.
Become her and don't let anybody or anything stop you from doing it. You owe yourself to be the best version of you, the one that God planned. When He says, I know the plans I have for you, He's planned for you to be awesome, fabulous, and amazing. So stop playing small and step into the greatness that you were always destined to be. All right, everybody, listen, we are out of here, and stay tuned. Follow us, any of us. It's 26 of us. Get in with somebody
Yeah.
so you can stay in the know of what's going on next. Like I said, we'll be in Tennessee in July, but between now and then, we got some other things going. So you won't know unless you stay connected. So get connected so you can figure out what's going on and when it's going on. Until then, Sherold, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast and for closing it out strong for
Thank
us.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all have a good one.
Bye. My
Bye.
sister.